Because when I think of Naivasha and I think of 2007, Jane, you were right at the center of all that mess. Okay, you did not. There's this maxim I keep saying: he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Jane,
I was in the center of what?
Of 2007. 2007.
What did I do?
2007. I mean, you were one of the people that were investigated.
Esther,
okay, you were
what
clear.
did I do?
I mean, come on, the same incitement that you're doing now.
Don't be
the
silly.
The same incitement. I'm not being
ladies,
silly.
ladies.
No,
it's true.
No, I could
my
hit
name
her.
was not there.
No.
What
was I investigated for?
Let me engage.
Come on.
Come on.
Please,
the violence in Naivasha.
You are being stupid now.
So even if you call,
Madam Kihara, please.
even if you call,
Esther Passaris,
it's a
please.
fact. It's
No.
The truth hurts. The truth hurts, but it's
I could hit her.
Madam Passaris.
I could hit her.
You see how violent she is?
She has no idea what happened in Naivasha.
Come on. I saw how many people were
calm
killed
down.
What did you
there.
see?
How many people were
What
killed?
did you
see?
And if you know that, you don't want to
Come on.
I would
like
Let's
you are
talk
all,
about this.
the two of you are my elder sisters, and you're in
She
parliament.
was in charge, but
no,
she
let
was
me,
there.
let me say
You're
this.
out of
I was there doing
Let me
what?
say this.
inciting people the way you're doing
Allow
now.
me
We've
to say
muted
this.
your microphones for now.
Allow
Let's
me to
address the
say
press.
this. Allow me to say this.
Get
We need to move
I can't debate with Esther.
to
I
update.
can't debate with a mad woman.
Calm down,
Thank
calm
you.
down, Madam Kihara.
Thank you. But with due respect, you're going back into 2027.
Madam
you're going
Passaris,
back.
Madam Passaris, your microphones are muted for now. Please, let me engage.
Allow me to say this. Both of you are older than me, and we have a whole generation of Gen Zs, some of who would actually be voting for the first time. Okay. And as leaders, we need to come out there without being sycophants, without sugarcoating some of these things. We need to have a real conversation at the national level, at the county level, at the ward level, all the way to the village level. Because there are people who want to hear.
Remove this mic for me.
There are people. There are people who want to hear solutions.
This psychophancy has gone through.
We are reading newspapers. There are people in Bamba, in other parts of the country, who do not have access to these newspapers. All they know when you go for meetings in these places is that Kenya is not at a good place. Okay? I spoke to women recently in a certain part in Coast, and they told me, Mama, safari hii hatutapiga kura. And I asked them why. And I told them, if you don't vote, you're actually voting in the wrong person. And they told me, tumechoka, twaogopa. Now, when you hear voices of people, women out there who are saying twaogopa, and women are the biggest voting bloc in this country. Yesterday, Jubilee Party launched the Kenya We Want. And when you listen, and we had women leaders drawn from different parts of this country, from Northeastern. And if you listen to a woman from Mandera, when she talks to you about what they're going through, it's the same thing a woman from Kilifi County is going through. Same thing a woman from Nyandarua. So, same thing from a woman from Nairobi County.
Do you feel like this level of violence could lead to voter suppression?
Absolutely. Because if those women could tell me, and they know what I do, they know where I stand, they know what I stand for, and they told me, Mama, safari hii hatutapiga kura. And I stopped, and I was concerned, because already, if you look at the trend in terms of voter turnout, at the coast, sometimes you get it up to, the highest it can go up to maybe 60%. And these are people saying, the women, who actually spend the longest time in queues, telling you that we will not vote. And when you ask them why, they say tumechoka. When you ask them why, they say twaogopa. So if we are really serious, if the president is serious about it, and he vowed to protect the Constitution, and you look at chapter 4 of the Constitution, it is very clear. The rights are very, very, they are in English and translated to Kiswahili. Anybody can understand them. And he took that oath and says he was going to protect the Constitution. The CS Interior took an oath. The PS Interior took an oath. All these people that are holding public offices took an oath to protect the Constitution. Now, when you have a situation where young girls are fearful to even declare that they are going to run for political office because they are fearing for their safety, they are not assured that they'll be secure when they go out to campaign, then somebody is neglecting the vow that they made, the vow that they took to protect the Constitution.
Right.
So we do not need to, we do not need to reinvent the wheel. We do not need to actually come up with new laws because the laws already exist. They are already there. And I have been in Mandamanos next to the late Raila Odinga. And we were agitating for something and saying that these things are not running right. They need to be done this way. And we are saying it. And a time will come, and oh God forbid, I pray that we'll not get to that place where our voices as women will be silenced because someone somewhere has decided to ignore the vow. And when I say someone, number one, the buck stops with His Excellency William Samoei Ruto.
Right.
He's the CEO of the Republic of Kenya.
Okay.
So you cannot go and talk to us about Vision 2060, where Vision 2022 did not work, Vision 2023 is not working, Vision 2024 is not working, Vision 25 and 26 is not working. He needs to sit and take a back step and review and listen to what the women are saying. Now I'm talking as a female leader because we have children. You understand? We have families. And these people, I have been told personally by people, are you sure you are going to do this? And I said, I am going to do it. And I'll go all the way to the ballot. And God willing, I'm going to win that seat in Kisauni and make history as the first female elected member of National Assembly for Kisauni constituency. Okay. And I'm doing it. But I pray that the courage that God has given me shall be found in the hearts of many other leaders, many other female aspirants out there who right now as we speak, because of where we are as a country, are fearful. These young people, I've met young people, 22, 23-year-olds, including one yesterday who came to hug me and say, Mom, tembea na mimi because I want to vie for a political seat in Nairobi. Okay. But I'm scared. Mama, utakuwa ukija na mimi kwa mikutano. I can't be there every time because I have to be in Kisauni. I have other national duties as a deputy party leader of Jubilee. So, come on, let us be sincere about this. Let the president hold a similar meeting, whatever he did on the health for 10 hours. Let him do one for only 2 hours.
Will you guys
ask
come?
people,
Esther Passaris, no.
And ask people to honestly and not just call, real random calls.
Yes.
You understand? Real random calls and for people to actually say what they are going through. Okay. Once we have that conversation and once we have our sisters who are in government to come out and condemn these things and not in their houses when they're having a cup of tea and saying in whispers, because we hear those whispers, lakini serikali sijui, and then government, come out and say it. Right. Get sacked or get fired, but you have actually stood with the majority voices of the women.
I don't think I want to talk now because of this diversionary tactic. I don't want to sit here and be told that I was investigated for the violence of 2007, 2008. I wish she just asked me what happened that time because they wanted me to be a witness in The Hague to fix Uhuru. That's all the ICC wanted. She doesn't know that. She said, I incited people. Why is this why we are here? I'm saying we know these goons. The government does not want to do anything. She says that the president should not be asked because they are institutions. Why did he take an oath of office? Why did he look for presidency? If it is a matter of ICC, he himself was indicted. The president himself. We have seen youth being abducted and killed, and we don't want to talk about the president because they are institutions. We have parents who have lost kids. I mean, we have to draw a line. What is it that we want to discuss about this country? We are talking about this insecurity. We are very fearful now. Women, aspirants, we are very fearful. Because people looking for power are going to get goons to displace us, or beat us, or rape us, for that matter. And we say we don't want to talk about the president. And he's the one who says goons will be a thing of the past. He said because it was his responsibility. And we don't want to say that. We want to keep on praising him, praising him, praising him. Everybody knows that this country is not going on the right side. This country is slipping into a very dangerous, steep, hollow deep. I mean, everybody is there to see. I am telling you, I was in Okalau. I went for that burial. It is the most painful burial. And these people just came out to vote. And they are killed by agents sponsored by the state. If the state is sponsoring goods, then who is there for us? ICC.
What about the role of politicians? Because there's a lot of incitement and reckless remarks made by politicians. What about that? What would you say to that?
I wish they were held responsible.
Across board?
Across the board. Yes, across the board. That's the way it should happen. But here we are. I just told you. We see this one is okay. When this one says, it's bad. This set of rules, of laws for different people, this is good for you, this is okay, this is not good for you. I mean, we have to be serious as a country. We have to be serious, ruled by the rule of law, whoever it is. But nobody wants to do anything.
You mentioned 2007, and we're in 2027, exactly 20 years. You know, for me, when I think of 2007, my image goes to Naivasha, the charred house with the charred bodies, okay? And that started with incitement, vernacular, and this is where we ended up. So we as leaders have to be responsible, because if we're not responsible, we are going to take the country to a worse position, because we've got more people that are in that net that can do wrong in this country. So now, when we talk about the president and his accountability, all right? The president is responsible for ensuring that state protects Kenyans. That's his responsibility. But he's not the investigator. He's not the prosecutor. He's not the judge. All right? It's the police who investigate, the DPP charges, and the courts decide. All right? And I tell you, one of the things that we did different, I remember even when we, as opposition, I remember once I was arrested, all right? Because I put some advertisements on Uhuru Highway. And when I was arrested, it was by Ali. My entire brigade came, we sat down, I pulled down the adverts, and we continued. At the end of the day, I think there comes a time that we need to understand that the country is bigger than all of us. Right now, we cannot just be blame games, and we have to understand the constitution that we have. So for me, I feel, let the institutions that we have, because those are the same institutions, if the United Opposition were to take power, it is the same institutions, the people that they will put in those offices will be the same Kenyans, right? So what we need to do is have a moral reflection. We cannot improve 2027 if we do not look and reflect on what happened in 2007. If we do not want to see people dying, then we have to remember that we, as ourselves as politicians, have got to stop and change the narrative. And this is why I want all of them have worked at one point with Baba, except for Rigathi Gachagua, but all of them understand Baba and understand the kind of man he was, and that's what they need to reflect on. We need to put the country ahead. So when we come here and we demonize an institution like the presidency, we're doing wrong. So I want to quote Article 157.10, okay? The DPP does not require anybody's consent to commence criminal proceedings and cannot be directed or controlled by the president. okay, or any other authority. We are legislators. We put these things in place. Under Article 245, the Inspector General exercises independent command of the National Police Service. No person, including the President, may direct the Inspector General. Okay, so to investigate particular offences, to enforce laws, to arrest. Now, when the United Opposition gives up on the institutions that have actually put them in office or taken them out of office, it is the same institutions that we have to respect. So collect your evidence, take it to the ICC, collect your evidence. If you feel we're a failed state and you can't go to the police, then go to the ICC for all means. But at the end of the day, right, everyone is culpable when it comes to Gunism. So we need to make sure that the institutions that are there to protect us work. All right. So for me, when I talk about 2007, the displaced people who were looking for places, over 10,000. I mean, come on. And we know that Kenya went to a bad and dark place. And we don't want. Let me tell you something, okay? I will not even answer you there because all of you were somehow investigated in that issue. He's now the current president, so he was not charged, okay? So at the moment, I'm just saying, have confidence in your country, have confidence in your people, have confidence in your institution, and let us as politicians do the right thing. That conversation that we're having right now, the hate, the venom, the incitement, is not going to help Kenya. 2027 will be worse off, right? Not because of Ruto, but because of all the politicians going out there and doing the wrong thing. So the institutions that have been given mandate to do the right thing by the Constitution, do your job.
Yes.
Homa Bay is beautiful. I mean, where I went, those people are friendly. So 3-4 weeks later, I see all this happening on TV.
Can't believe it.
And I start wondering, I mean, is this the same place I went to recently? And I mean, these are people who had come in fact, a good number of them were visitors, people who are coming in. I mean, I have friends who had come in from Mombasa, from Kilifi, Kwale. And I'm like, oh my God, I mean, what is this? Then I've been waiting, actually, glued to the TV every time it's primetime news, waiting to see or to hear a statement from the CS, and have not seen any. From the PS Interior, nothing, and I'm like...
Even from the police IG?
Even from the IG. And I'm like, really? I mean, say something, condemn this, talk about it. And I read a book. It was actually authored by the first female Africa female democratically elected female president, okay, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. At one point in her career, she was employed as a government. She was actually a government employee, and she saw something that the government had done. In fact, it was something to do with the economy. It was a policy that did not make sense to her. And she knew this was not good for the Liberian people. And she called it out. She went and did a press conference, something that was definitely against the current regime. But she was an employee of that government. And she had to call it out. And she later, it was very bad. I mean, they were not happy about it. And she had to flee the country and all that. Later became president. What I'm saying is, and I'm not saying that my sister, Honorable Esther Passaris, is one, but I believe the female leadership in this government, they need to stand up, the CSs. We need to hear their voices. They need to stop being sycophants. They need to stand up. We want to hear the CS Defense, who is a woman, say this is not right. We want to hear her voice. We want to hear the voice of the female. And I know, even the composition of the cabinet in itself is unconstitutional. This the court has told us, and I don't think the president really cares about that. But what I'm saying is we need to start hearing voices from the broad-based female leadership. If you're a CS, if you're a member of National Assembly, if you're a women rep, and with all due respect, my sister, right now we cannot start talking about policies. They're already in place. Okay, we need to use what is already in place and make it work. Okay, but that will only happen if we hear our voices. In fact, today I would expect my sister to mobilize the other female leaders in the broad-based government. We're in opposition. We've already said it. In fact, we issued a statement as the Women Caucus of Jubilee yesterday. But we expect you today to mobilize your colleagues, okay, and issue a statement. And ask CS Murkomen, why aren't you saying something about what happened in Homa Bay? Yeah, we would like.
I mean, offense to that.
I'm just asking.
I think
sister.
Wanga is on the right side.
And I'm glad when she walked in here, she hugged all of us. We hugged each other because we are women. That's the baseline, you know. That's the bottom line. We are women first, okay? So as a woman, we are supposed to protect the nation. Because we are the ones who give birth to all these people.
We have two members of the National Assembly.
I'm actually expecting, and I'm challenging my sister, and I love her so much, Esther Passaris. I've worked with her before when I served as a gender advisor to the Prime Minister, and I need to hear their voices. I'm not.
When we have a statement here, right, which is defamatory, of saying that Wanga is involved, right, is for me, I think, the police, the IG, all right? And you know, for me, I'm tired of just issuing statements, all right? I think what we need is to see action. So as a woman leader, all right, I will go on my ground and I talk to my youth and I tell them we don't want this, all right? We don't want this kind of life. But doesn't mean all of them will listen. Just like a mother can raise all her children equally the same, one of them will turn out to be a murderer, okay? So now, I want to say we have two problems in this country and we all agree. We have unemployment, underemployment. All right, underemployment is that you are employed, but your money is not enough to sustain you. So I want to look at what you know, and I have no apologies for supporting William Samoei Ruto and his government for two reasons. All right, one, he is at the moment looking at how can we take this country to the next level. To see him sit for 10 hours, looking at Shah, talking to the people, and looking at how we can, don't laugh, Shah is doing an amazing job. I was looking, it's doing an amazing job.
Esther,
it's not, let me tell you, let's talk about unemployment.
I think we'll need,
let's talk about unemployment.
Maybe 2 minutes.
You can respond.
We'll have another short discussion.
No, but let me tell you what, let's do this, okay? Let's look at the housing program. All right, it was a bold thing to go for the housing program. Okay, the other side says they're going to scrap it as soon as they come in. But look at this. Look at this. Yes, because we're trying to build the houses
people
and get them ready.
People are withdrawing their deposits.
Give me facts
that they had paid.
Madam
No,
Passaris.
it's actually
so wait,
it was documented.
Unemployment. Okay, we're talking about unemployment.
Yes.
We have to deal with unemployment. Honorable Jen Kihara said we have to deal with unemployment. Unemployment under the housing project, we have created at least 650,000 jobs. Okay, and these are professional jobs as well as the other jobs. Nyota, amazing program, 100,000 young entrepreneurs. All right, with 50,000 to start a business. I started my first business, Sharper Image, with 50,000. And guess what? I was turning over 100 million in 5 years. So 50,000 is not a little money if you use it well. We've got 90,000 people, young people for workspace experience, entrepreneurship. We've also got artisans. When you come to digital economy, 300,000.
Why
all right?
VAT?
No, I want to talk about. I want to. No. Let me tell you. We can't sit here. We can't. No, families are grieving. We cannot handle.
No.
We cannot handle goonism. We cannot handle goonism with
people are dying,
press conferences.
who will work?
What we have to do is address the biggest elephant in the room, which is unemployment.
The issue is that we've all agreed that the policies are there, the plans are there. They've not managed to contain the problem as it is right now.
There's
it is only 355 days to the next election. If we continue on this trajectory, will employment turn around this? Is employment right now able to contain this?
Anybody who's employed and earning gainful income will not be hired to do wrong on politics.
But the toxic
Yes.
tongues, all these
ones have to be
employed.
They've all been summoned. No.
And
These ones have to be
discuss the
summoned.
leadership.
Yeah,
We'll come
these ones
discuss
have
the
to be
leadership.
summoned
My
sorted.
concern now is what do we do? Because there's a sense of helplessness. Yes, it's all well and good. The president has done his part and through those projects employed some youth. But the problem still persists. In 300 days, I doubt we'll have been able to...
IG is not working.
This. Yes.
Because he's not in charge of those goons. He's not in charge of his docket. The CS himself is a goon himself.
What do you mean he's a goon?
Yes. He's the one protecting them. We have heard him say that guns are not ornaments. Police can use them. The president cannot stop him. They cannot stop these people because they belong to the right side.
No. The pages, we have people from across the political
Yes,
divide.
exactly.
Yeah. We even have Rigathi Gachagua on
That's
the
fine.
page.
Yes.
We are saying
Number one.
the violence cuts
No.
across.
Number one.
You know when we say there is joblessness, because it's true, and you tell me that there's jobs in the housing program, a house will be built and it will finish. It is not going to be built forever. So that is not a permanent job.
It is.
The ones that they have done, no, it's not.
We're going to build, we're building 200,000 houses now.
So they are not.
We're looking for the national.
Yes, I am.
200,000
Do you
houses
think there's
next
something
year.
you can do from that angle? Because we're trying to look
You know
for...
what Esther said, they are those institutions, unless they do their work, but they can't do it, my friend. They can't do their work because they are those friends of the government.
Okay.
I have been waiting for a statement. I've been yearning for a statement from the CS concerning Homa Bay because I'm directly and indirectly, affected because I have my people. I even had to call and find out how they were doing. And one of them was, these ladies who are traumatized. They're in shock even as we speak, and I'm waiting for that statement. So if we are 4 years down the line in this regime, and sadly, these cases are increasing. We have had incidents of our people disappearing, young people disappearing, young people being found dead. And I'm like, it's actually, the number is increasing. The temperatures are going up. So if those in the country charged with the responsibility of cooling down these temperatures are not doing so, then we have to go the other way because we actually are signatories to the statute. So, and allow me in 1 minute.
Without necessarily diverting the discussion.
In where I come from at the coast, tuko na msemo inasema chema chajiuza, kibaya chajitembeza. I mean, kama wewe una kitu chema.
That's not only in coast.
It's a global.
That's their new thing.
So, it's something. You don't have to use 10 hours to pitch.
He wasn't pitching.
On some. Oh, he was pitching.
He was discussing.
No.
And understanding. Hands-on approach.
President Uhuru was in office for 10 years. And he did not
Tell me, do you have
hours?
Do you run a
pitch,
business? Do you run a
pitch.
business?
Yes, businesses.
Okay. Do you have management meetings?
To
Do you have management meetings?
To pitch.
Come on.
You do
That
realize
was not
that
a management.
Of course,
that
it
was
is.
pitching for 10 hours.
Ladies.
So if what you have is
That's all he has done.
amazing, it is nice, you do not need to
you
be
do realize
on
it
that.
is.
That's all he has
Was
done
not
for
pitching.
10 years.
Let
So
me
4
tell
years
you.
down
He's
the
on the
line,
sunroof.
and you're pitching. Chema chajiuza, kibaya
That's all he has
chajitembeza.
been
Let's go back to our discussion.
My
because
sister here does not have to convince somebody that she's well dressed and she's looking good, because I actually told.
But I have to dress.
You understand? So
Can be seen.
the president
Yes,
did
sir.
not need
Yes, ma'am.
10 hours. 10 hours to
Ladies.
pitch.
Listen,
And I was
focus.
just telling
Yes.
my sister Esther because she brought it up,
Yes.
and I know I'll continue.
And let's not
that.
divert
Please call
so
us
that we
again to
focus
have
at
this
least on this
conversation.
time.
My point is, we need real, tangible solutions. Okay? And I will go back to psychophancy within the female leadership that has access to the presidency, and they are not saying it. And if they are,
All they do is
doing it
praise him.
in whispers. Okay? And yesterday I sang the national anthem, just the first stanza, and I teared because it's a prayer. Mungu nguvu yetu ilete baraka, haki iwe ngao na ulinzi. Hakuna ulinzi. And this is a prayer.
Kuna
You know,
haki.
it actually made more sense. Yesterday it came up as a deeper revelation to me as a female aspirant that haki iwe ngao na ulinzi. His Excellency Ruto, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi. Let that stanza make sense to you, Mr. President.
Now, can I tell you, a country from independence is built through institutions. Now, you cannot tell me, if you tell me that you do not trust the institution to deliver anything
Because
for
they're
you.
not delivering.
No, you do. No, let me tell you, you have to have confidence and faith in your institutions. What we have to do as legislators is to strengthen our institutions through budgets and through stronger laws, through accountability on oversight. But I want to say that, when we say that the police have done nothing, the DCI, as soon as this incident happened, arrested 15 suspects. I even saw one of them I heard jumped out of the car, and then now I saw him being escorted to the DCI office with a leader from the United Opposition. What we have to do
and the DCI turned him away.
Listen, yes, because you know what? A criminal should not be escorted. Somebody summoned should not be escorted. But this is the way we do things in Kenya, all right? We are divided, bang, 50, opposition, government. But let us look at the issues. If I was in the opposition, all right now I'm in the broad-based government, I'm supporting the agendas of broad-based and the deliverables of broad-based. If I was in opposition, I would be more concerned about supporting what is right and what is good. When we say Murkomen, you called Murkomen,
Yes.
CS Murkomen a goon.
Yes.
All right, let's respect the institution itself,
Yes,
the
he
office.
is.
All right, you've called him a goon. Tell me, if tomorrow you all take government, who will be your CS for interior?
We have 52 million Kenyans.
No, hold on. And then also, do you think if we are on the other side of the opposition, are we also going to say he's a goon? So the question is, I think it is important for us to understand we have a population crisis. We have an unemployment crisis. We have youth that are desperate for that $1 that you're going to throw at them, or $10, so that they can be able to earn something on the day. And that's why I'm saying, can we all focus on ensuring that the next 355 days, we're not chasing away investors, we're not ensuring that shops close. You see, the problem with opposition, it always wants to create chaos, thinking that they will come into power. Yes. But you know what? I was in opposition with a man, God rest his soul in eternal peace, who loved peace more than he loved power. Baba loved peace more than power. Yes. So every time Baba saw the country was spiraling down, Baba would do one thing. He would go to bed with the government so that he would improve the security and the peace and stability of this country. Yes. The problem with the opposition that we have right now,
I've worked with also.
Yes.
I want us to go to bed with Ruto.
No. Let me tell you something. You go to bed with saving your country. And let me tell you something. You were with Ruto, by the way.
I think
you were with
that's
Ruto. The reason Ruto is president, you were campaigning for him.
Yes.
So what went wrong?
I get the feeling that
He didn't do what I expected.
He's done more than you expected. But you become tribal.
Okay, allow me to say this. I get the feeling that even this issue, we're just seeing it as a problem of us versus them, the opposition versus...
Yes, we're one country.
The problem is, this could happen in an area where there's one party. Let's say like in Nyanza, where ODM is stronger, yet between two aspirants or rivals, there's still violence.
Exactly.
It could happen in Mount Kenya, where probably there's one big party.
It's happening.
And between two aspirants or candidates, there's violence.
It's happening.
I want us to look at that from that prism, through that prism, and not just focus on this big political divide of broad-based versus the united opposition.
If Baba were alive,
at any level,
if Baba were alive and he was sitting where Gachagua is sitting right now, right? And he saw what happened to Homa Bay, he would go and sit down with Ruto and say, let's save our country. But you know something? All they want is power, and they have no idea what to do with it.
She challenged
they have no idea what to do with you.
Allow me to ask
that before the close of business today,
Beatrice,
issue a statement.
What is a statement going to do?
No.
We have been around.
We are the reason.
You need to demonstrate, because you cannot go and tell the children of this.
Yes, ask me.
She asked you this question.
Yes.
You are, and the other leaders are close to the president. Have you raised this issue with the president?
Can I tell you something? You think the president is blind? You
Yes
think he doesn't
or
know?
no?
You think he doesn't know what is going on? Do I have to tell the president that there was violence in Homa Bay? What are you doing about it? We have structures and institutions. The IG, we put laws in place that gave the IG full autonomy to do what he has to do. The interior is doing what they have to do. I saw the DCI arresting people. I've seen the NCIC summoning all these people. So the question is, everybody who's holding an office.
Yesterday the headline was the untouchables.
Right. No, hold on.
The untouchables.
Yeah, those are your narratives.
That was the headline yesterday. The untouchables. They are goons. We have seen them. We know them, and nothing is happening.
Let me tell you,
because they are on the right side. Let me say this: in Okalau, they killed 2 young men, and we saw them moving around with guns and shooting everybody. So we know them.
But they
can't
take the evidence.
Come on.
Okay.
No, take the evidence to the IG.
Let's move on.
Why are you?
Passaris,
Yeah.
When you guys talk over each other, unfortunately, we can't hear anything.
Okay.
Because the microphone's just pick.
When Omar Hassan incites people, nothing happens to him. But when Kagushia says something, Kagushia is taken to DCI. I've been arrested myself. I've slept in a police cell. So there's 2 sets
of accusations of incitement.
Of accusation of incitement. Mm-hmm. And it was during those demonstrations when I say that those goons were brought to Naivasha. Because that's a fact. Something that I could prove. Because I am the leader there. I'm the one they call. There are people who have been dropped here in a bus at night. When I say that, I'm inciting. I'm taken to DCI. But when Omar Hassan and Betty Maina and Otuoma, when they say something very insightful, nothing happens to them. We have to follow the law for everybody. The law is for everybody. It's not for some of us. And others. So I'm saying this government does not mean business. If they do, they would arrest those goons. It's not social media. We saw them. He was in the headline yesterday. He was here. And nothing has happened to them.
Everyone has a following. But when we look at what happened today, when you say the institutions are not working, when you look at what happened with Governor Obado now in cells, it tells you that the institutions are working.
Which
okay?
regime?
This regime here now has arrested, has had, for me it's not regime. These institutions, we have to make them strong to serve all Kenyans.
What is the problem with the NCIC, for example?
So now let me tell you what, I was just, No, but the police, let's understand.
Admit that NCIC...
No, hold on, let's
she feels NCIC is actually working.
Okay, hold on. So the police and the DCI, their role is to investigate killings, assaults, weapons, arson, destruction. And I want to say they've done a good job. They've given a summary. They've given the cars. They've arrested 15 people. I want them charged. But you will see the same lawyers from the United Opposition going to defend them. Okay? Now, NCIC investigates hate speech, ethnic incitement, political intolerance, and threats on national cohesion. They've already summoned a number of leaders. Let's see what happens in that space. So, for me, I don't need to issue a public statement. I don't need the president to do anything. I need the institutions to work, okay? Because the institutions are stronger than the presidency. That's the constitution that we have.
Yes, the president took
the back
in 2020.
The back does not stop the president. Read your constitution, please. The president does not have any power to do the job of the president.
The back stops with him.
It doesn't stop with him.
He's a CEO.
Calm down.
Maybe Moi's time, the buck stopped with the president.
We
in this
are
current
under new dispensation.
You guys, you want to be your legislator. You want to be a legislator.
No.
Can you please understand something?
Let's do an assessment of the NCIC.
The Constitution does
Why
not
did
give the
he say it
president
has to stop?
the power.
Where does the NCIC? Where does the NCIC fit?
Why did he say it has to
sorry?
stop?
What does
because
it?
it's
Where?
him who is supposed
Madam Kihara, Madam
to
Kihara,
protect
please.
the
Hold on.
Constitution.
Where
Yes.
does the NCIC fail?
Okay, the NCIC is. You know what? I see them summoning the people. I will not. I think now they have. Okay, once they've summoned the people with the evidence, the ODPP is then the one who decides whether the available evidence supports the prosecution. That's number one. Then it goes to the judiciary, where you have all these strong cases who will lawyers who will argue, and then the judicial process takes its way. Innocent until proven guilty. You have to understand the structures of government. At the end of the day, the president of the republic can only do something against Murkomen, who he appointed, by firing him and putting someone else. But he cannot tell the IG. He can remove try to remove the IG. The IG can also be reinstated. At the end of the day, we have institutions that are autonomous. They are supposed to do their job.
You just said that the president is able to reshuffle his cabinet, fire the PS.
Yes,
or
yes. But
do you think that is an action that the president should take in this instance? The person charged with the country's security,
let me tell you,
is yet to speak about Homa Bay.
Every time, look, Homa Bay has happened and it was wrong, and I want the structures of government to do what they have to do. Now, Homa Bay, don't say thank you. Both sides, because we are culpable.
That,
both sides are culpable.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
All Kalau was bad.
So we want to hear more voices from your
end. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see the United...
CS Murkomen's position, continued position as CS of Interior.
Let me tell you, even if I bring Jesus Christ to run the Interior, United Opposition will say remove him.
If we all say that, and then there's general
let
failure, what happens?
Let us have confidence on our structures. Now, if I was Gachagua, and God forbid, I don't want to be in his place or of his character. If I were him, I would actually call the president and say, you know what, this guy is failing. Let me donate, like Baba. Baba gave experts to Ruto. Let me give you this man, and I hope he doesn't bring Matiang'i, to run your CS Interior, because we can have an MOU, because he failed us.
I think, no.
At the end of the day,
Who wants to work for Ruto?
No, it's not working for Ruto.
I don't think Matiang'i will do that.
This is where we go wrong. It is working for the country.
Is running this country single-handedly.
Madam Kihara.
No. Come on.
I think I don't belong to this debate.
Madam Kihara, direct question here. Do you think we should go the ICC way?
She was once also investigated.
Allow her
there,
to answer this. Why do you think that that's the best way to go, the ICC way, by inviting the ICC, an international body, to come during an election?
Because it's not working locally.
We're not a failed state.
It's not working. It's not working. If we say we don't put the president on the spot for the things that are happening, then what are we doing? We cannot as well go out there. If he took an oath of office.
And he's doing a damn good job.